Let's talk about Teams. So in this session, we're going to talk a bit about some of the new features inside the Teams client on the PC.
Yes, indeed.
So what have you experienced?
So I kind of like some of the Ignite updates. I know you hate it, but
Copilot Ignite.
you call it. But love the calendar basically. I really love that it's
I don't
no
mind the
no.
calendar. I think it's a
But
great
it's
upgrade.
a new view in Teams. It's basically the Outlook
The new
thing.
version of Outlook that is
Yeah.
just copying the
But
client.
but for me, I kind of like to have one application to look in and
Me as well. I mean, I would love the day when we have everything into Teams.
You can have the Outlook calendar.
Yeah, you actually could, yeah. But for me, it's really nice and good, and I love it. It's really nice, and the same goes for the new function with the chat. It's
Oh,
but I love it because I didn't went into all the teams to see where has somebody posted the new stuff. Now it's in the same view. I just have to scroll a little more down and see everything. It's
I see the reason why, and they're probably analyzed because we discussed this, me and some colleagues the other day, and we looked inside ourselves and said, yeah, we didn't use chat. We had a regular Teams meeting that
yeah,
have
you
occurring
just typed it.
and that was where we were doing our challenge works in a meeting chat. So I understand why they're doing it. The only thing that I experience is, and it probably takes a couple of weeks to get used to, as everything else, is
Yeah.
that it's a lot of information once. And I know you can drag and drop and have your
Yeah, but
favorite
you
and
can
so on.
customize your own. It's
Yeah,
they are actually prompting you stating, "Hey, customize your view."
yeah.
So they're actually trying to get you to customize it because when you do it, it's I've customized mine because I have some chats with you guys, but also with some other people, and I want them to be on top and so on. I really customize mine,
The
and
problem is the customized chat hat was like this big, and the customized calendar hat was like this big, and now it's just one big
yeah,
long mess. I
Yeah.
understand, and it's probably because I'm a grumpy old man that I used to do it this way.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, and I understand why Microsoft have done it, but it takes some getting used to.
and also one thing I noticed that you can actually pop out.
Yeah,
That's really a nice feature as well, I think. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think from my perspective, first of all, it was probably a lack of communication. Even though Microsoft
Yeah.
says like, read what's new, everyone is going into the Teams and then close that window. And then I was sitting and looking after my Teams. I was like, hey, my Teams are gone.
Yeah.
So the small tab on your left-hand side, that is still called chat,
Yes.
even though it's a
channel
combination of
chat.
chat and
Channels.
channels.
Yeah.
I I would say I don't really think that it's a big deal for me. It's just a new way of seeing it, the
Yeah.
information. From my point, what I don't like is that if I had highlighted my channels and I want to go to chat, then I need
Yep.
to disable channels before I can hit chat, and that's crazy. I would be able just to click between them and then be able to see it, or
Yeah.
have a channel and a chat and a all button.
Yeah.
That would be fine for me.
Totally agree on that one. But again, I must say when they coming out with stuff like this prompt you're seeing, but also the documentation side of it, they actually brought something into it. And
They've done a great job,
they-
actually, if you want to sit down and read documentation.
yeah, and of course they have done some thoughts about it. Otherwise, they have not done it. And to me, I was not in the challenge at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I
Exactly, and that's why it's done so you can.
yeah when I had to look for a document you guys have put up or anything, then I need to go to the channel. Oh, where was it? And now
That's
I'm
that's
just
why you always ask for the confirmation that it's already
exactly
prepared.
exactly.
And for users that have your work pattern, it makes perfect sense. Again, that's why you are thrilled about it.
Completely thrilled about it.
And Lars and I are used to working like more chats and channels separated. It's
But
something that we have to get used to. I
but
mean, if you ask me in
Yeah.
6 months, I'm pretty sure say, hey, that's just the way it works.
yeah, it's a way of working,
Yeah.
and I'm
I don't know.
pretty.
In 6 months, it will be
Yeah,
different.
but now we finally get used, and then we can
But
sit.
I'm pretty sure that if you ever been to a MacBook or anything like that, you start searching for stuff. And the search function is really keen to finding stuff. You don't have the hierarchy of a defined structure where you're putting things into channels. I think it's some of the same thing goes to the channel chat versions. So you're searching for the stuff, you have it all in one place, and you just search.
When we got introduced, it was also a faster way because, as Microsoft explained, that you have a lot of users that are working in chat and channels and not just voice and meeting as we normally.
No.
A lot of regular users are working channels and chat, and makes sense to have them one place. You save some click, and in a lifetime you might save 2,000 clicks, so that's also saving the fingers. No, but it was actually looking at the workflow that people are using it.
Yeah,
and they come back and say there's a lot of people that was traveling between. So that way it makes sense.
Yeah. The thing I really like sometimes, especially if you've been away for a few days or been really busy at your work, that's the unread button.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one as well. It's just
it's quite easy to get up to speed with all your information in really fast time, instead of being able to scroll down all your
Find
chats
that one,
and
that
all your channels. So I think that's quite nice. I really like that one. But anyway, there's news, and we also had the discussion a bit earlier before we started the recording about when people ask us for documentation around, can you do some documentation around Teams? And I'm like, yeah, but it might change.
Yeah, but we just saw it with this chat, right? So you will never just, it's here, and people will print it out and put it on the SharePoint or everything, but it changes sometimes.
Exactly, and that's normally my point is that I say, of course, I mean, I'm a consultant. Of course, I would create documentation, but I think it's a waste of your money and my time, because for the first, Microsoft done a really great job. If you're going to help, or if you just Google anything, you will get detailed. And the next thing is you cannot keep up to date with the changes that are coming on a documentation. It's kind of like a 20% job that you need to have.
No, and that's true. I still think they're missing some parts here, because what I would really love to have is actually a virtual Teams client, so you can play around with. So when you're out demonstrating for customers, you can just show off instead of always using your own where you have all the stuff. Because then you can also give the link to the end customers, and they can try it out and see, okay, he walked in there and he did this and this, did that. And the same goes for actually for the Teams room. So if you had the front of room controller, so you can put it into a virtual thing, and they could just play around with it.
There are some test tenants with real life.
I know there's some test tenants, but not everybody has access to them. So just make them public, so people will be able to try it out. That's something that missing. Other than that, it's fantastic documentation.
I really enjoyed the documentation. It's so much easier to push that out to customers, saying, "Hey, this is it."
Yeah, I think it's more about using Microsoft documentation instead of creating your own.
Exactly.
Because they will, or at least they will try their best to get it updated. That's kind of.
I mean, in the good old days when you have Service Pack, then you did all your configuration, and then when a new Service Pack is released, you install it in test environment. Okay, we adjust the documentation, so when we push it out, it was ready. No way you can do that.
Service Packs, how often does the come an update?
It's not Service Packs anymore, but in the good old on-prem days, it's just pushed out and say, we got this nice feature. But again, if you go into helping in Teams client, you open up a total universe of help and guidance.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was also some news about VDI and Teams.
Yeah. Respect from time. Let's do it short. We're just discussing VDI, and the biggest problem with VDI is there's a new version 2.0 VDI plugin. And I think the biggest problem that we have is that when you're running something like Microsoft 365 or Citrix, something like that, you are running your platform on server, and you have this thin client, and how to get voice and video back and forth, and especially the other way, how to get something that the end users is doing into the client. But there was a lot of...
There's new enhancement coming to it, so... and I understand the purpose of it, because you can leave it all in the server base and make that run all the heavy work. So
I have a Microsoft 365 machine. I love it. It's great to have a machine up in the cloud, but just open up some other problems when you don't have all data right in front of you. So you need to have media parts and so on. So if you are using VDI, make sure that you upgrade to 2.0 on when you Citrix or Microsoft platform.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was the short version, because if you can open up the VDI jungle, it's you need
exactly. But I think it just makes sense to mention it shortly, and then we can probably take
upgrades on it. If you're doing VDI, definitely go in and see what's the new on it, and it can help you a lot, and optimization and so on. So
yeah, exactly. And with that said, not spending any more time. Thanks a lot for watching. This was Let's Talk About Teams, a bit about the new Teams client, and then also shortly about VDI.